when did you fall in love with like women in hip hop?
Look, nigga, what you think this is? You treat me like a random chick? You the guy who introduced you to rocks and popping all that Chris and shit. Who let you hit it from the back anyway that you like? It ain't that time to pay the price. I thought I was a chick you can make your wife, and now a bitch can't even stay the night. I can't even look at your face without wanting to slap you. Damn, I thank God I ain't get that tattoo. You better thank God I ain't had a strap, boo. You ain't even worth nine. Trick, get at you. Matter of fact, Trick, get at dude. I'm convinced I ain't got shit to ask you. Until that trifling bitch, she can have you. I ain't looking at you no more. I'm looking past you.
Ooh. You were in the mirror like doing an E system. Like, you're like...
Do you remember this one?
I do not.
You don't even know the artist?
Is it Trina?
It is Trina.
Yeah, the trick part got me.
It is Trina. It's that song, Here We Go. Here we go again. Now you're telling with Kelly Rowland. That one.
Yeah.
I thought in honor of Valentine's Day, it would be nice. Maybe it was the first song that I could think of about a relationship. Maybe I should have done something a little bit more upbeat, you know?
I thought your delivery was on 10 though.
Thank you. I really did try this time. I really tried very hard.
Oh my God.
What's yours?
Okay. I'm going to try to... All right. He wanted someone else. He wanted to be selfish. He wanted them 3 rounds. DC had to come help him. Look, I know your position. Try to squeeze in the full Nelson, though. Beat on it. Beat on it. Mercy like a black belt. Daddy the Grandmaster. Daddy, I want it faster. Them bitches you fucking with, I know they're going to need some practice. So bring them along with y'all. I'll teach them how to smash ya.
Oh my God, I'm clueless.
I feel like I've been doing a bad job of delivery.
I don't know. Who could this be? I have no clue.
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
This was a trend on. I feel like this was a trend on TikTok.
Okay.
Probably like closer to like 2020.
Oh gosh. See, I don't even think I was on TikTok in 2020.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Person who was responsible for like that silhouette challenge.
Okay, so it's Doja Cat, but what song could this be?
You want me to tell you?
Yes.
Freak like me.
Well, you know what? It was your delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do know. I do know that song very well. And if you said it,
Yeah, I don't know what I could. You know what? She had more of the sing song.
You know, she's just very animated. You know,
you're right.
And it's really, really hard to.
It didn't come through.
It did come across, but you know what? I admire your effort, and that's a simple.
I tried.
We tried. You know? Are we ready?
Right. Yeah, no, I'm ready. So today's episode, I'm excited because I'm taking the lead here. We're going to be talking about love. But before we get into that, go over some main topics. But how are you doing?
I'm actually pretty good. You know, I was home this weekend, so
you were inside.
I was. No, I mean, like, I went home to Chicago. Like,
you were at home.
I was home this weekend. I was only there for 2 days, but, you know, It's always good to go back for, like, a quick little trip.
You see your brother?
It was not to see my brother. I was there for a funeral. But,
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it's fine. I didn't know her very well. So it really didn't matter. But, yeah, I saw my brothers. We hung out. I got to see some old friends from high school that I have not seen in a very long time. And I
Nice.
feel like I always say this, but every time I go back to Chicago, it is so vastly different from when I used to live there. It's like it's almost like a cool place to live now,
Ah,
minus the fucking freezing cold weather.
yeah.
But yeah, no, it was good. What about you? What are you up to?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I was also home. I was in Texas looking at
Yes.
some wedding places. And so I think I'm getting closer to like what I
Going to
think
the
I wanted to.
chapel.
That song was stuck in my head this weekend,
Yes.
actually. But yeah, it was cool looking at venues, and then I got to spend some time with my parents, which is always nice.
That's always
So
fun, for some
yeah.
people. Um,
They're cool people. They're cool people to hang out with. My dad and
Yeah.
I got our nails done together, so it was cool.
absolutely, absolutely.
But all right, cool. Well, I think we have a handful of topics here, hot topics. Let me
Yeah.
see. Where do you want to start?
We have to start with
the Grammys? Yeah,
Yes, we have
sure.
to start with the Grammys.
Oh my gosh.
Number
So
one, I mean, we knew it was gonna happen.
we were like, there's no way. We're like, there's no way she's walking out of here empty-handed.
I just knew it was going to happen, but to see it actually happen like that, I was really speechless. Like I was just like, this is absolutely the right decision. And I was just so shocked that the Grammys made a decision that was the right decision. Like
I was about to say, I saw something on Twitter and it was like, the Grammys were too good this year.
we
Like
should be
too
suspicious.
scarily, like with Beyonce, with Doechii, like
We gotta be suspicious.
we're like, why did it go according to plan?
Yes.
I guess we're just too used to things going horribly.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's happening a bit too like what's going on?
You
know
think
what I
they're
mean?
You think they're overcompensating with like this DEI? So they're like, listen,
Something
like
is happening,
they're
and
like, oh, here you go.
yes, who knows?
But no, and also we can't fail to forget the sweep with Kendrick.
Absolutely. Now, I will say, I was shocked that I knew he was going to win all of the rap awards. Like that was not shocking to me. But for him to win like Song of the Year and Record of the Year,
Crazy.
I could not believe it. I was so shocked. This has only made me more excited for the tour. And now I'm like, I definitely have to get tickets to a second show, especially after the Super Bowl.
He did a great job.
I love the Super Bowl. I think my issue with the Super Bowl is like, you should never ever mute the crowd. It makes the performance so awkward to watch. Like muting the crowd is a terrible decision.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. So please let them scream.
I was about to say, do you think it was the profanity? Like them yelling?
I think it was like an artistic choice for him to have done that. Like for him to mute the crowd because he started with like some slower songs. So I don't know if it was. I just don't get why do that. Like I think that's a mistake. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well, pettiness prevails.
I mean, truly.
Truly,
okay.
But who else won at the Grammys?
Rhapsody.
Rhapsody
won. What was it? Best rap sung collaboration with for 3 a.m.
Yeah, best melodic rap performance.
Best melodic rap performance with Erykah Badu. And I have to say, I was really like happy that she won this award because number one, it's her first Grammy. But number two, like that was one of the standouts on her album,
I remember you saying that actually, that it was a standout.
It was one of the standouts on like her album. And I feel like when do we ever in Rhapsody's work, like I feel like she needed to be celebrated for this because it was her most vulnerable and intimate body of work. And like people kept talking about like Grammys voters after the award show were coming out and talking about how this year was about the theme for voters was like innovation. So they wanted to honor innovation. And I think, for Rhapsody to have gone as deep as she did and gotten as personal as she did, which she's never done, I don't think, in her music.
Yeah.
I think she really deserved it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're happy for the girls.
Yes.
For
what about
winning and
Doechii's
popping out.
performance? What did you think about that?
Oh my gosh. Like, I think it's just like, it it got better and better the more I watched it. And I was just like, she is a artist. She is a performer. Like, that's how I felt about, like, when I had seen, like, Victoria Monet. Like, I'm like, she is an artist.
I
Like,
still
there
have
is
not seen her live.
thoughtful.
I feel like I'm the only one.
You gotta see her. She's incredible. But you could just feel it. Like, she looks like she was having fun too. Like, love the choreography.
Yeah.
And like, it just felt like, I love how she's kept with this like kind of preppy type.
Oh, I love
like,
that. The Tom
theme.
Brown. Oh,
Yeah.
she looks
I
so
love it.
good.
Yeah.
I think this was for me like her audition to open for the GNX tour. You know, like
you keep saying that. You know,
no,
you're gonna
but
call
seriously, I really think not only was it like incredible performance, number one, incredible choices, but like she has the stamina, the music, the stage presence. Like she's ready to open on a stadium tour. That performance was perfectly spaced out. You can't say that about a lot of the other performances. Like she can command a stage. She's improved even from when I saw her opening for Doja Cat a year ago. So I think it's the right time. This is like it's absolutely I'm really advocating. I'm really hoping that this happens because I think she is ready for it.
Yeah, I'd be curious if it wasn't her who it would be.
I feel like if it wasn't her, it would be probably like maybe another R&B singer. Maybe Kendrick would bring on like one of the guys who was on GNX. Maybe like I
what
really
I was thinking.
couldn't anticipate it. I don't know who else would fit better than Doechii. You know?
Yeah.
Like who would you if
agree.
it wasn't Doechii? Like who would you think? Like
I would think it would be somebody from his album. I'm thinking like what's his name? Dodie.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I think it'd be like he would take one of the artists that like is probably more up and coming local to like LA to go on tour. But I'm not sure.
That would be good, but do you think they could do it solo or would he have to bring like all of them?
I feel like he'd have to bring like all of them probably.
Like
they couldn't yeah, I don't think they'd be able to solo.
But
like,
you know who could do it solo?
Do it solo? You're right, though.
She could do it solo, man.
Hopefully,
I don't know if she would need nobody else.
You know, hopefully you see it. And like, I think the last thing on Doechii, before we switch to some other things, did you see her commercial for Nike?
I did. First of all, I thought that Super Bowl commercial was so good. Like, you were talking, I remember a lot like earlier, like last year about how there had been this like uptick, you know, in like interest in women's sports. And I'll be honest, that was kind of the first time in my life that women's sports ever were getting so much attention. And I was paying attention because I don't even like sports, period, you know, the male sports included. So I was like, damn, okay, like let me tap in, you know, like let me tune into what's going on. And I think it's really cool for them to have chosen Doechii for that. I mean, she's an excellent storyteller and I think the perfect person because I do think like she's a person who people traditionally wouldn't want to see win or wouldn't expect to win in this industry. And she is doing that. And so I thought that was really cool that she got a Super Bowl commercial.
Me too. I was like, that's huge. It seems like things are just rolling in for her too. She also has, it seems like she might be on the Met Gala host committee.
Yes.
Which
she's
I think
on
is
the committee, which is crazy. I mean, absolutely deserved.
Yeah.
Because
no, it makes sense.
She looks amazing all the time. And in a year where they're honoring like dandyism, you know, and tailoring, this is perfect. This is right up Doechii's alley. So
you know,
really
I feel perfect. Like I feel like she's gonna eat this up. I feel like Tiana Taylor is gonna eat this up.
Tiana Taylor is gonna, if she gets invited, and I hope she does, she absolutely is gonna be perfect. She's gonna eat it. Yes,
snatch. I know it.
Perfectly tailored, like look like a 1920s gangster.
I see it.
And I can't wait for it because she's gonna eat.
But yeah, moving on. I feel like there were some things with Cardi. I saw her. You read the interview about her and Cardi's friendship, right?
Yes.
I'm so glad that she addressed that actually, because I feel like that's something we've talked about
the fact that she's still working with Cardi.
Yeah.
I agree. Like here's my thing. Like I love Megan Thee Stallion, you know? She seems like a great person. I love her music. That being said, I don't really know her. And I don't understand why it's my business if a nigga that what has been said about him? Like, was he abusive? Was he like, because if that's the case, like, I would expect my friends to side with me. But
Right.
I don't know any of these people. I'm not personally like, okay, yeah, he's cheating. But I
Yeah.
mean, niggas do that. What does that have to do with me? You know?
Right. What
If
does
the
it have to do
music
with
is
the
gonna
music?
sound better, with him around, I agree with Cardi. Like, it's not personal, it's business. You know what I mean? And so I don't
No.
think it's weird that she's still working with him unless he turned out to be this horrible, awful person who had hurt her in all these ways. But I mean, the way that Cardi is explaining, it doesn't seem like that was the case. You know?
Yeah, I feel like she said something like, I'm like a child in this relationship. I'm like neutral. Like, I'm not picking sides. She was like, listen, the money was coming in. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, he was a big part of her first album.
I mean,
and so
yeah.
it's like, why would I cut ties with somebody that I worked so well with?
I mean,
and she's like, it's also not like we're like best. I think she said, like, it's not like we're like best friends. Like,
Right.
she's like, we might go months without talking to each other.
Mhm.
So it's like, you know, like you said, it's just business.
It really is just business. And I mean, like, what do we, I don't, it's not a big deal the way that people are making it a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There are so
I don't
many,
think so.
there's so many people who are far worse that we should, like, I don't know, be trying to stone. But this is just, this seems real extra for people to be upset about it, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
Yeah.
And it seems like, speaking of silly, she's doing a soundtrack for the Smurfs.
So she's gonna be on the Smurfs soundtrack with Rihanna.
Rihanna. I was like, this is the only way that we get new music is for animated. It was like for a animated movie, so the
Yes.
kids can watch it.
So that the kids can watch it. That's the only way. And I respect Rihanna for doing that. You know, she got kids. She don't really give a fuck about making the music anymore.
I was about to say,
You
I'm
know?
like, I've been trying to follow this ASAP Rocky stuff, and I
he
don't
might be going to
know.
jail.
Yeah, I was like, when did this happen?
I
Like,
was confused too. It just seemed
I
like
was
when did he even get arrested? Like,
that's what I would say.
when-
I was like, was this old? Like, I was like, is this old news?
like, when did this unfold? And now he might be going to jail for 24 years. Like,
yeah,
oh, poor Rihanna. Like, you're supposed to
I
be
know.
in your 30s living your life, and you following behind a man who up in court every day. Like, that's so embarrassing. Embarrassing. I would be so mad. How dare you have me out here looking like this?
After you had all these kids.
Right. Back to back. And you got me out
Back
here looking like a damn clown because you want to act a fool.
Right.
My God. Niggas, man. Niggas.
Yeah. But let me see what else we got on here. So Glorilla is going on tour.
Like I said.
Yes,
One of my
it makes sense.
Two of my predictions have already come true so far
Yeah.
this year.
How do you feel about it? I think it's funny who she has on tour with her.
So she's having Boston Richie and
Like,
Queen
who?
Key. That's what I said. I have never heard that name before.
Never
Boston
seen him.
Richie and Queen Key open up for her. And, like, number one, like I said, I knew the tour was coming. Like, it just had to be coming. But I think it's interesting, you know, for her to have chosen these people as her openers, because I mean, I just feel like there had to have been other artists with more overlapped, like with their
agree.
audience than those people. Like,
Like, when's the last time you heard a Queen Key song?
I act like on purpose. Listen to
like on purpose.
Can't say. I couldn't tell you. I mean, of course, selfishly, I would have loved it if she brought her Memphis girls on tour.
Right.
Like, but even aside from that, Boston Richie and Queen Key are not people that I associate with Glorilla's music or her audience. And I mean, I understand, like, okay, it's about selling tickets and like Glow is the main attraction, of course, but they also need to have, like, bring in their audience, and maybe the Memphis girls couldn't do that. But this is still, like, it was strange, you know? I would love to see her, but I don't know if I care that much to see her.
The other people.
The other people just don't matter to me, you know?
Yeah, I'm trying to think who would fit better, like, aside from, like, the Memphis girls, like...
That would be good as an opener.
As an opener.
Yeah.
Like, who would open for Glorilla?
That would overlap with her audience? I mean, it's hard to say. It really is. It's quite difficult.
Because I don't see Sexy Red opening for
I don't
Glorilla.
think she would. Like, I don't think she would feel like she's of the caliber where she's an opening act for Glorilla. I feel like she would be like, no, it would be like a co-headlining tour kind of situation.
I feel like someone who would be an opener, not Mellow Brooks, but somebody adjacent.
Yeah,
to
Mellow
her.
Brooks could be a good opener. Damn, who else? Like,
Yeah,
it's really hard to say, you know?
yeah, but I don't know. But excited for her to be on tour.
Definitely. Can't wait. I wonder what she's gonna perform.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what her the new songs how they're gonna react to the crowd. It should be good. Yeah. It should be good. What else do we got on here? Okay, going back to Cardi, she says that this album is almost done. I think I said this at the beginning of the year. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Bitch, just release it or shut the fuck up.
I don't care. Like, if you want to just make these tracks for the Smurf album and drop singles like the rest of your life and do like
but girl, stop
features,
lying.
Stop lying. Stop lying.
Is it the truth or not?
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Like, let me find out again that you like
lied.
You have another kid. You have a lied, and then you have a good kid.
Bitch, you better not be pregnant
and it's
again.
like, hey, girl, again.
We gotta put it off
we're
another
gonna
year.
We're gonna postpone it. Like, I think that like this album, I don't know, is gonna come off like really stale. Like,
yeah, I'm starting to feel that way.
Like,
if we're listening to some of the tracks that she's been releasing, I'm starting to feel like it might be stale.
Yeah,
you know,
I
would love to be pleasantly surprised.
Me too. I would love. Me either. Me either.
I don't think I will be.
But moving to Rico Nasty, it seems like she's teasing a return. To be honest, I was like, I guess I hadn't thought about a fall off from her more recently. Like, I guess she has been a bit quiet.
Just quiet,
but
yeah. But
I'm excited for new music, though.
I think it could be a big moment for her. You know, I think that audiences could finally be ready to accept Rico Nasty on a larger scale because and I think in part because of the success that Doechii has had. You know, like I think Rico really has to grind like Doechii has been, but it can be big. And I think, you know, separately from that, Rico really doesn't get enough credit. She was one of the, you know, pioneers of SoundCloud rap. Like she was big. Yeah. She was really, really big in that era. And I think she deserves some respect. So hearing that she might be coming back, she might be dropping new music, she might be on a new wave. I think it might be the season. It might be the time. Like for Rico Nasty to come in and get the respect that she deserves and have the moment that I think she's been wanting for a very long time. Like I see it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like it feels like alt Black girls are more widely, I think, accepted now. And I think, like you said, her being in that SoundCloud era, it was a different time. And so I think that like there is a greater appreciation for a difference in terms of like her sound.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious. I'm wondering if she'll like play around with like new sounds or if she's gonna stick like
who knows,
continue down that like rock punk kind of vibe. So we're excited to see Rico.
Definitely
coming up soon. Anything else on here that you wanted to talk about?
Not really. We can move on to new music if you want.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. What were some standouts here for you? Well, first let's talk the Procedure music video.
Here's what I have to say about the Procedure music video.
What?
Why? What was the budget? Like, it couldn't have been a little bit bigger, you know? Like,
what were you expecting?
I don't know.
You
like
think Queen Latifah was gonna come out?
I
wish. That would have been great.
No,
was Queen Latifah or Jada?
Why do I feel like she would have done it if they had asked her? Like, I feel like Queen Latifah would be a fan of Glorilla, you know, and Lotto. Like, I kind of feel like she might be a fan of theirs.
or even like a video, like
Yeah.
it was like a FaceTime call.
Yeah,
and
like
it was
Vivica
like,
at the end.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wish the production
Yeah.
value was better on the music video. Like it was a fine music video, I'll say. But it's
Yeah.
not gonna do for this song what like the Mamushi video did for that song. You know?
Yeah.
That was production value.
That was
And I don't
production, you're right.
understand how Glorilla can't get that when Glorilla has a label and Megan paid for that shit out of her pocket.
I was about to say, I was like, Megan paid out of pocket, and maybe they were like, listen, CMG was like, listen, we got
I mean, yeah.
$5,000.
Yeah,
we got $5,000.
And I mean, maybe they're like, this isn't really important to you. You know, like
Yeah,
you're
or this isn't
successful
the
in other
song.
ways. Maybe it's not the one. Maybe it's not the song. Selfishly, I
Yeah.
would have loved a video for how I look before the video for procedure. Like that would have eaten so bad. But who knows what's going on? Like people might be busy, you know, so
Yeah.
whatever. But I would have loved that.
No, I thought the music video was all right. I was excited for this one because this was probably one of my favorite songs on the album.
Definitely.
And I think it could have been a little bit more. It was just fine. Like it's not something
That's what I'm
like
saying. It was
going back
cool.
to.
It was cool. It was cute.
Cool. It was cute. It was a little moment. Okay. What did you think about what is it, Doechie's song after she won the Grammy?
I didn't like it.
Nosebleed. Me either.
I didn't like it at all.
Like it.
But you know what? She's having fun, and so that's cool.
So I'm here.
But I did not like it.
I did not.
I have
like
not
it
returned
at all.
to it once. It was very
couldn't finish
confusing.
it.
I couldn't catch the beat. She seemed like she was all over the place, just scattered thoughts. Like, did she record that after she got off stage? I don't. She was just on adrenaline, just saying shit.
You're right. Give me a mic.
Just give me a mic. Give me a mic. No, I did not like it.
Did not like
Did
it.
not like
Will not
it.
go back to it. Blixum by Lotto featuring Playboy Cardi.
You know, here's what I have to say.
Why do I feel like you're gonna say like some geriatrics? Some
I don't get it. Is he like a really good rapper and I'm not hearing it? Is he like I don't what is the appeal? Like somebody has to explain it to me.
I agree. I didn't know he was as popular as he was
so shocked.
until it was like maybe we're talking about like Complex's like top rappers
Yes, I recall.
or something like that.
I recall this.
And I'm like,
number one.
Playboy Cardi to me is Magnolia. Like that's who he is to me.
That's
like
the
I can't
only
name
thing I remember about him. Like
I can't tell you what his new songs are.
His voice isn't interesting. His flow isn't interesting. He barely said anything memorable on this song. It's not like I don't get it. That aside, the music video looks exactly like I thought it would. You know, big booties, money, strippers, poo shiesty mess, a lot of guns, a lot of money. Like this is exactly what I envisioned when I thought of a Blixum music video. That being said, I get why add Playboy Cardi to the song because he's apparently much more popular than you or I. Clearly, we don't get it. Clearly, we are the ones who don't get it.
I was like, it has to be us. Maybe it's an age thing. I don't know.
It can't be. Like, I feel like there are people who are older that also like him. I just don't. I don't see the appeal. You know, like I'm not getting it, and it's not like I'm not into alternative music. I don't think. I don't think that's it at all. It's really like I don't know. It's eluding. I just can't get. I can't get into Playboy Cardi. I don't think he added anything to this. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like the only thing that I had heard it being teased a lot on TikTok, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, you weren't seeing that?"
No, I did not know that he was supposed to be on it.
Yeah. So that had gotten leaked like weeks before this actually got released.
Well, remember, I didn't have TikTok for a minute because they shut me out.
Right, I forgot about that.
They shut me out.
No, there was like a trend where like people would be like rapping both parts. But yeah, I don't know. It was cool. Like it was alright. Let me see who else. Mellow Bucks Move with Mona Leo. I don't know how I felt about this song.
I liked the original. This one,
okay.
I don't know. Like I don't think Mona Leo
she added
anything to the song. Like it's fine. You know, I mean. Sure, but it didn't really add anything, so I didn't really see the purpose of it happening. You know, I think they could have just done if they wanted to work together, just have done an original song. You know,
I agree.
Do a new song.
And I want And I want Mono Leo to drop that
The
that Me Express.
espresso. Oh
So
my
when is that coming
girl,
out?
get Sabrina on the phone. Who
Phone.
do you know? Like I think Sabrina Carpenter would do it too. Like
I think she would
why
do
do
it
I
for
feel
the
like she would be
giggles.
down? I
I
just
feel
feel like
like
she would
she'd
be
be
down as
here
fuck.
for it.
Like
Yeah.
she could be down
Me
as fuck.
too.
And I think that would be a really big deal for Mona Leo. Like I
100%.
think I just really think we need to make it happen. Like maybe on the 1 year anniversary of Espresso,
She does like a little
like a
feature
remix
remix.
album EP, and one of them is Mona Leo's.
That would be
That would
great.
be so great, wouldn't it? I hope this is in the works behind the scenes, and we
Me
just
too.
don't know about it.
Because she's been teasing that song way too long, and I'm
And
like,
it just
where is
seems
it?
like it would be so good.
Yeah,
Like I want it so
Wow.
bad.
I don't know. But you know what? They could have taken back this Partisan Fontaine and Cardi B song. This song sucked.
Boring, boilerplate,
I
uninterested.
was like, what is this?
How
I
is
was
he
like,
such a good writer, but not for himself?
but yo, I was like, why did you all do this? Was a waste of time. And it's like even the music video, it like went straight into it, and I'm like, this song had no build up. This had no substance.
Nothing.
I'm like you said, for him to be such a good writer, why are you deluding yourself to these like, I don't know, these try to be like club hits?
And why do you have to be both? Why can't you just
Yeah.
be a writer? Like, what is the need to do both when you don't even do it that well? You know, it's really not. You're not that good at it.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I like.
if we
so
gonna hate
I
that nigga
always-
for anything, let's hate him for his mediocre ass rhymes for himself.
No, exactly. I mean, I did like backing it up with him and Cardi B. Like
I
that,
liked it for Cardi B.
I loved that music video.
Yeah.
I thought it was good, but I was like, this song is so trash, and I see what y'all are trying to do, and it's
not working.
It's not working.
not
And I'm
working.
like, and I was like, Cardi, this feels beneath you. This felt
She
beneath
did
her.
say that it was an old song and that she just told him that he could release it. But for what? We don't
But
need.
for what?
If you're about to start rolling out your album, we don't need no fucking like.
These throwaway songs.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, what else was here? There was the Cocky song with Ken the Man and then Born Again featuring Doja Cat. Any opinions about those?
Well, here's what I think about the Cocky song by Ken the Man.
Okay.
I did not enjoy it enough to return to it, but I will say there was an energy in the song that I feel like in a lot of her recent music has been missing. And so maybe if this is a sign of things to come, like I'm interested, maybe she's gotten her confidence back and we're going to get something that I'm going to love again soon. But I heard it and I was like, this sounds different, you know?
Yeah.
A little bit more, you know, upbeat and energized. Like she's into it. Whereas the last couple songs I've been hearing, I've been like, does she even want to be? Like she don't even sound like she want to be here. You know what I mean?
I don't know what the disconnect is between like her and like making it. Like, what is the delta?
That's quite a phrase.
Well, you know what I mean?
No, I
Because
know
like,
exactly what you mean. It's
I
so
feel like
funny to put it that way.
I feel like she had, like, I'll say 3 years ago-ish. I feel like she had more momentum of, like, putting out freestyles and, I don't know, like, just, like, garnering more attention. And I feel like, I don't know, like, maybe it's the same thing with Gloss Up.
Yeah.
Of that, like, it's just, like, how are things not, like, sticking? Because she had that popular song.
Not my nigga.
No, I know. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. They just weren't able to build from it.
Yeah. You couldn't like.
I don't know.
And
like then she was signed to Rock Nation.
Yeah.
And then she dropped. Then she left.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is happening for her? Is there not a star quality in her, or is it something that the industry is doing a disservice to her?
I mean,
I'm not
it
sure.
could be. It very well could be. I mean, but
Yeah.
how? Like, I don't know. You know, like it really sucks.
Yeah. No, it does suck.
I
But
wasn't interested
anything-
in the rest of this.
yeah.
Like, I wasn't really interested in the rest of this. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So today we have a special episode. I think by the time this comes out,
It'll
maybe
be
potentially
Valentine's
it'll be
Day.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And so I thought it'd be nice to do a little bit something that's like romantic geared. And so today we wanted to talk about like the evolution of love songs. How do the rap girls talk about it versus like the R&B girlies? So first, I want to ask you like, what has Valentine's Day meant for you? Did you do anything special as a kid or even for yourself now as an adult, like with Valentine's Day? Like, what do you like to do to celebrate if you do?
I don't really remember as a kid ever doing anything. And
Okay.
now I just kind of like, I don't know. I don't really view it that much as a holiday. Maybe if I weren't single, I would feel
Uh-huh.
differently about Valentine's Day. But as of recently, I've just been like, oh shit, I forgot it's Valentine's Day. It's like I
Yeah.
literally forgot. So I'll just like, I don't know, go to the movies or like to dinner or something. Or
Mhm.
I just won't do anything. I'll just go about my regular day.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
about you? What are
I
you doing?
for for me, even like before I was in a relationship, I mean, I feel like I saw it as a day of like, I don't know, doing a little bit something nice for myself, like
Beautiful.
whether it's like ordering like my favorite like Uber
Yeah.
Eats or like more recently, I guess with him, we like try to get like a massage,
Love
like that
that.
always feels good. And then yeah, when I was a kid growing up, I mean, obviously we did like the Valentine's Day things at
At
in
school.
school where people would leave notes. But
That's
my parents
sweet.
also like I feel like also went the extra mile,
Oh
which
yeah.
I think was interesting. Like my dad would always get my sister and I flowers. My mom would write us a note. Um, yeah, so they like would do like little cute stuff like that. So I feel like I always like to think of it as like putting some more, I guess, love out there, but also
Yeah.
doing some self gratitude as well.
Yeah. No, that's really beautiful. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. But okay, well, first I wanted to ask about like thinking about like love songs between the rap girls and the girls in R&B. You know, what do you think it take where do you think vulnerability plays a part in this? Like how do you think that it is different amongst like girls who are rapping versus like the R&B girls? Like how does vulnerability play a part in that?
Well, I think in R&B, like it literally stands for rhythm and blues. You know, it's so important in that to be vulnerable and be open. And I think it's very much like, you know, applauded and rewarded when you do that in R&B.
Hmm.
Whereas in rap, I feel like what especially when it comes to women, to kind of wallow in that or to be vulnerable is seen as weak and ineffectual,
Hmm.
and it makes you like feel like less than,
Hmm.
and I feel like that they have to always be like, fuck niggas get money, you know, like it has to
Hmm.
be like, yeah, he hurt me but I bounce back and I'm a player, you know. When
Yeah.
it comes to women in rap, they always have to come out on top, and they can't really rap about like how they get heartbroken. Like men are allowed to in their raps be very vulnerable about how they've been heartbroken, the things that they've gone through and suffered, and they're looked at and they're rewarded for that kind of vulnerability. But when it comes to female rappers, what they see when they hear that, they think they're weak, you know, to be in
Hmm.
love and to celebrate love. Um,
Yeah.
which I think obviously is such a double standard, and it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah, I think about like some of like the love songs that like rap girls um have had, and I'm like it is always about like conquering or like I did this guy
Yep.
dirty, like he got one up on I got one up on
Yep.
him, like he's not gonna have me looking like a fool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is true that
Cheat
like
preemptively.
yeah, exactly. Cheat preemptively. Exactly. You could never get cheated on if you
Exactly. If you
get
cheat
received
preemptively.
first. Um, so yeah, it is sad. I think that there's that double standard, but I'm hoping that um, more artists like I think Meg Thee Stallion does a good job of that
Mm.
because she has become more vulnerable. I feel like on her more recent
Yeah.
album, like what was it? Um, what song was that? And she's like, I'm just mad at my nigga. Um, ah, sad girl, like the
Mhm.
sad girl song.
Mhm.
So I feel like there's glimpses of it,
Yeah,
but
for
it
sure.
hasn't been over time.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, so when you think about like some of your favorite, like I guess, love songs, where do you think some artists blur the lines between rap and R&B when it comes to like good love songs?
Oh, I think it's when it's hard because I would say I think that Doja Cat did it very well on Planet Her of blurring the
Yep.
lines between like rap and R&B,
Hmm.
but I think it just doesn't happen very often, like especially when there's like a
Hmm.
rap love song. It's very clear, like there's a singer here and there's a
Yep.
rapper and they kind of like go, like she does the chorus, you do the verse, like that kind of thing.
Exactly.
And it works very well, but you don't really see people who can blend that, and blur the lines between that, a rap song and an R&B song, to make a love song very well. I mean, it's a difficult thing to do when you think about
Yeah.
it,
Yeah,
because you don't
no,
want
in
it to be
general.
considered too much of one thing or another. And
Hmm.
not people are like skilled enough to really balance those things out.
Totally. Yeah, I think Doja Cat is a perfect example. I think Lauryn Hill could also be another example
100%.
of that, of being able to blur those lines and I think toe the line
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, I think it is difficult. But when it's done right, it is so
It's so
beautiful.
good. It's so beautiful.
It is so
And I
good.
think there are some songs that like are just rapping that are so beautiful, especially like
Hmm.
I wrote down a couple
Okay.
of like my favorite like hip hop love songs. Not all of them are by women, but
Okay.
some of
Okay.
like my favorite hip hop love songs. I love "The Light" by Common. I think
Okay.
that's such a
Yeah.
beautiful song. "You're All I Need," Method Man
Hmm.
and Mary J. Blige.
Hmm.
I love "Consistency" by Megan. I think that's really sexy. It's really
Hmm.
fun and light. "Can't Take My Eyes Off You" by Lauryn
Oh, yeah.
Hill.
Perfect song. Yeah.
"Been Like This" by Doja Cat. I think that's a really good example of like a blending of it.
Hmm.
I love "Best You Ever Had" by Megan. "Love" by Kendrick. Yeah, no, I think there are a lot of like rap songs that are still get it really right when it comes to love, because I think it's okay to like rap about being in love. We don't all have to be like city girls, fuck niggas, get money like all the time. I think it's
Hmm.
okay to be vulnerable and be sweet and rap about how much you really love your nigga, you know? Cause
Right.
some people do love they nigga,
Yeah.
I can't relate, but I'm just one I'm just one person,
I'm just one person.
And I think that there should be more room for that in hip
Yeah.
hop. There should be more room
I
for
wonder if,
love and joy and happiness.
yeah, I wonder if it's like, they think it's embarrassing. They're like, "Ugh,
Hell
like if this doesn't work out, I just made this whole
yeah.
song about
Yeah.
him." Like,
Hell yeah, they think it's embarrassing. And I would
yeah,
too. Niggas be acting
yeah.
up. Okay, you see how these niggas
Especially
be doing
publicly.
them? I would
Yeah,
be
you're
embarrassed
right.
to talk about that nigga publicly too. Shit. Especially put it on wax like that. Like you really can't take that shit back.
Yo, immediately I was thinking about this new Coi Leray song. I was like, this girl is hurt.
Hurts. And she's also pregnant, so that also adds to it. And
I
it's about to be
know.
Valentine's Day, so that adds to it. And she took this
Yeah.
nigga back after he cheated on her, so that adds to it. Like he really like
Oh,
hit like a triple, three strikes you're
stress.
out, my nigga. Like damn,
Damn. Oh,
that poor
I hate
girl.
to see it. I hate to see it. I hate to see
I
it.
love to. I do hate to see it, but sometimes you need that one thing to
You want that
happen so you
fuel?
never go back again. Fool me once,
Unfortunately.
shame on you. But fool me
Hmm.
twice, we got some
Yeah.
self-reflecting to do.
Oh, I like that one. I like that one. I like that one. I'm gonna use that with my friends who be messing with these dudes.
Sometimes I have to send it to
Oh,
myself.
no, you gotta say it to yourself too. I get
Yeah.
it. But you were talking a little bit about like being in kind of like this city girl, hot girl era,
Mm-hmm.
and like how it's not like, I guess, that's celebrated to have that vulnerability. So how do you think, like, being in that kind of, I think we're still within this space, this hot girl era space, like, how do you
Absolutely,
think
but
it's
even
changed
a little
how
bit
rappers talk
less.
about love?
Yeah.
It is a little bit less, but like, how do you think that's changed how rappers talk about love because they've seen these examples of like, hey, scam this dude, you're just trying to get his money, blah blah blah. Like, How do you think that's changed?
I don't think I want to pivot or just do a little
Mm-hmm.
asterisk or a little aside. I don't think that the City Girls and Megan Thee Stallion get enough credit for completely shifting how the culture talks about love in relationships, how
Mm-hmm.
women talk about love in relationships. Like
Mm-hmm.
this whole thing, they had a huge monumental global impact on the way that people talk about love and relationships and pimping niggas and hot girl summer and I'm outside
You're
and fuck
so
that.
right.
Like they don't get enough
Mm-hmm.
credit for that. That being
Yeah.
said, I think the men really fought back very hard by becoming incels, like becoming the worst human beings possible because
You're actually
they
so
really
right.
didn't like it when women started doing them. How they've been doing us the whole
Mm-hmm.
fucking time for a very
Yep.
long time in the music. And that is how men retaliate, you know?
Women in men's fields.
Exactly. Like they didn't like that. And so then they had to retaliate by becoming a million times worse and doing it so openly. And you can't tell me there isn't some sort of direct connection to this very, new wave of like women empowerment in music that the City Girls and Megan Thee Stallion kind of led the charge in to this like all these rappers becoming very alt-right and like talking about fuck women. We don't do shit for them bitches. When women start to really feel good about themselves and know their worth, and
Totally.
so I think it's interesting to talk about like, yes, that plays into how we talk about love and maybe it's like downplayed the importance of like expressing that love very outwardly. But I also
Mm-hmm.
think it's done so much for self-love that I'm okay with that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
especially my
No.
own self-love.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I definitely I can see the correlation that you make because women I think have had a sense of like independence.
Yes.
That it's like, okay, I realize that I don't have to have this other person
have
to
to
make me
take it.
find my own happiness. Yeah, I don't have to take this. I have options. And I think that like once some men feel like, oh, I'm not needed anymore, that means that there's not value anymore. Then it's, oh, F this woman, like I don't
And
need
then
this.
it becomes
Like
all women.
women, yes.
Like everybody.
But no, and that's been an epidemic. Like I remember listening to this professor, NYU professor Scott Galloway, and he talks about how like there is an epidemic amongst like young men of feeling this way, like of the incels of like feeling loneliness and not being able to face rejection and not having that own self-love. But I think it obviously stems from larger conversations about how society thinks or talks about like your feelings about yourself, especially as a man, and holding things in. But no, I definitely see the correlation that you made. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
But I think for women, it's empowering
Absolutely.
though to know that you have agency over your own life.
And if a
you
man
don't need
has to
somebody
suffer
else.
for me to be happy, I mean,
You
suffer
gotta choose
1,000
10
times. They can
times.
suffer 1,000 times over for all I give a fuck. Okay,
Right,
because I'm
right.
doing great.
Right.
And that's what really matters.
And that's what really matters, the self-love.
Exactly.
But okay, I kind of want to end it like there of like self-love is like the best
Absolutely.
form of love.
I want to ask you
and
a question. Do you have any favorite like hip hop love songs, or do you have one that you want to share as your music rec or something?
Yeah, I was about to say some of the ones that were coming up. I love "Wanna Be Down"
Okay.
with Brandy and Queen Latifah, and all of them. Another one that popped into my head was like "Moment for Life."
Okay.
With Nicki Minaj. I think that's just like a classic. Like I don't know, that's a
I
classic
love that.
one. So those were a couple of my standouts that came to mind. But I'll do like for my music rec, I'm gonna cheat a little with the R&B or not cheat, but like I'm gonna shout out an R&B girl. I've been listening to SZA's deluxe album, Lana more recently, and so I'm gonna do "Love for Me" is my rec.
That one.
for
You
this
want to know
week.
my favorite from the deluxe right now? Diamond Boy.
Oh, okay.
That one's
Nice.
currently my favorite. I think I've been listening to it on repeat lately.
This album is so good.
It
The
actually
deluxe.
has
This should have
grown
been
on
its
me.
own
It grew on
It should
me.
have been its own
It
project.
really grew on me. My music rec, I'm
Really?
also gonna cheat a little bit. I want to do my favorite hip hop love song, and I think if I were to get married, this would be my first dance song.
Ooh,
And
okay,
so
yeah.
my music
Let me
rec,
hear your
my
ideas.
music rec this week is gonna be "The Light" by Common. It's my favorite
Aw.
Common song, and I think it's just a beautiful love song and a great sample. You know, rest in peace to Bobby Caldwell. You know, niggas loved him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna have to listen to
Oh,
that.
you've
I like
never
some
heard it?
Rex. No, I
Oh,
have. I've
okay.
heard it. I was like, I hadn't heard it in a
Yeah, no, it's
while.
an excellent
But
song.
I
Love it.
but I liked all the recommendations that you had though.
Yeah. Wow.
Cool.
Okay, guys, we made it to the end of another episode. So if you made it all the
Yes.
way to the end of this episode, thank you guys so much for listening. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Black History Month. And we'll
Yes.
see you
Happy Black
guys
History
in our
Month.
next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Where My Girls At, a podcast about Black women in hip hop. Where My Girls At is produced and edited by Mariah Woods and hosted by Mariah Woods and Brianna LaRosliere. Follow us on Twitter at Where My Girls At 2, on Instagram at Where My Girls At _TH, and on TikTok at Where My Girls At Pod. See you next time.